Okay, and welcome back, students that are taking Math for Business and Finance and Math Applications. We're continuing on with our Chapter 3 Summary Practice Test, and in the last video, we had finished 14, so let's move on to 15. Okay, just as a quick aside, I'm starting to look at these numbers, and this is doing a lot of math, which is taking up a lot of time on the videos. So I'm going to recommend that you do the math by hand, get comfortable with it. However, I'm going to start using a calculator, knowing that I know the math in order to be able to just shorten the videos, because you don't really need to see me doing long division like you're going to see me doing here. The idea though is the concept, so as long as I'm capturing that in the problem, that's going to be the way I'm going to go about it. All right. So it says here for problem number 15, divide the following and round to the nearest hundredth. Okay. So I have 203,942 over 588. Okay. So that means I'm going to divide the 588 into 203,942. Now this is what I mean by concepts. Okay. First I have to round to, I know I'm going to round to the nearest hundredth. Okay. Also, here I need to move the decimal 2 places, so the decimal is here, and that means I have to move it 2 places. All right, so that puts my decimal in my answer right there, and I have to round to the nearest hundredth, so I'm going to end up with 3 positions here. Now, when I do the math, okay, I will end up with, let's see here, I'm going to end up with, let's see, 588 can't go in, 588 would go into 2039 3 times. So I'm going to end up with 34,684 and 013. Okay, so when I do all the rest of that math here, this is my answer. Okay, now I did that math by hand, and then I punched it into the calculator, so I know that that's the answer that shows up on my calculator. But now the question is saying round to the nearest hundredth, so I'm looking at the hundredth position right here, and I look right 1 digit to the thousandths position, and since that's less than 5, that means I'm going to round down, and my answer is going to be 34,684 and 1 cent. Okay, so again, I'm going to start having a tendency to, as we go throughout the rest of the book, all right, I have a tendency not to do the long math, okay, because then it would just take forever to get videos done, and I have, it's more important to understand the concepts. Doing the math by hand, you should be at this point, you should be able to do math by hand. Okay, so 16. It says complete the following by the shortcut method. So if I have 62.94 and I'm using the shortcut method, since I'm multiplying by 1,000, right? That means I need to move my decimal place 3 positions to the right, 1, 2, 3. So my answer ends up being 62,940. Again, here's my decimal place. Whole numbers go to the right, fractions go to the left. And if I have 62 to the right, okay, and I want 1,000 times, right, that means I have to move that decimal place over 3 positions, because I'm looking at 1,000. So 62 times 1,000 is 62,000. So mentally you can see 62.94. When I move the decimal place over 3, I end up with my 62,940. Okay, that's the thinking behind it. Number 17. Okay, again, complete the following by the shortcut method. 8,322,249.0 821. Since I'm 100, right? 1, 2, 2 positions. So I end up with, let's see here, I end up with 83, 2, 2, 2, 4, 9. Oh, nope, that's not right. I'm just trying to get my decimals, my commas correct here. All right, so let me do it this way: 8, 3, 2, 2, 2, 4, 9, 8, 2.1. All right, so there's my commas: 832,224,982.1. Okay, 19. Sorry, 18. Question 18. The average pay of employees is $795.88 per week. Lee earns $820.44 per week. In the back of my head, I'm thinking about the difference between the two. And of course, that's what the question is asking. How much is Lee's pay over the average? Well, since I'm thinking about the difference between the two, or in essence, I'm comparing the two, that means I'm going to quote unquote need to subtract. So if Lee makes $820.44 and the average for everybody else is $795.88, when I subtract the two, I end up with 6 from 3 is 5. All right, from 9 is 4. From 1 is 2. The difference is $24.56. Okay. Number 19. Lowe's reimburses Ron 49 cents per mile. Immediately I'm thinking how many miles, so 49 cents times the number of miles would give me a total. So Ron submitted a travel log for 1,910.81 miles. How much will Lowe's reimburse Ron? And I'm rounding to the nearest cent. So if I have 49 cents per mile, I multiply one times the other. Again, I'm going to use a calculator while I'm sitting here, times 0.49. And I end up with the answer. I end up with 936.2969 is what my final answer is. And it says I have to round to the nearest cent. Well, these are my cents, so I look right and I see 6 is greater than 5 and up, means I round up, so he's going to get $936.30. Okay. Yep. Next, question number 20. Lee Chin bought 2 new car tires from Michelin for $182.11 per tire. Michelin also charged $3.99 per tire for mounting, $2.50 per tire for valve stems, and $4.10 for tire balancing. Okay, this is similar to question, let's see here. I'm just looking, 3-75. If you go back and you look at 3.75 in the word problems, this question is identical to that, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. In the explanation, you want to see the concept behind it. Go back to 3.75 and you can watch me think through that in much more detail. So let's see, what's Lee's final bill? So the tire was $182.11. Now remember, he's buying 2 new car tires, and these are all per tire amounts, so dollar amounts. Whatever I'm going to get for a total, I'm going to multiply by 2. So 3.99, 250, and 410. So that gives me 10, 17, at 6, 10, 12, 9, $1.90, $192.70 times 2. So $192.70 times 2 for the 2 tires. That's 14.45, 18.38. So $385.38 40 cents. Okay. Next. 21. Could you help Judy decide which of the following products is cheaper per ounce? I think I'm going to stop here and then pick up and do the remaining 4 in the next video.